stop in our last class, controls of inflation. Then I said that control of inflation will be discussed under 3 headings. The first one is fiscal policy, the second one is monetary policy, and the third one is supply side policy. Then the first question here is that how is fiscal policy being used to control inflation? Don't forget that fiscal policy, whenever you hear fiscal policy, they are referring to 2 things. 1, tax, and the second one is government expenditure. Government expenditure. How can tax and government expenditure be used to control inflation? Let's start from tax. Don't forget that one of the type of inflation is demand pull inflation, which is a type of inflation that is coming from the demand side of the economy. That is, when people have more disposable income with them, or they have more money at their disposal, they tend to demand more, and this can result in inflation. So now, how can tax as a tool of fiscal policy be used to control inflation? That means, to do this, what government has to do is to increase the rate of income tax. Increase the rate of income tax. Let me now use this as an hypothetical example. My salary is 100,000 naira, for instance, at Lankotheory Education Service Limited. If the income tax I'm paying to the government from this 100,000 naira is just 2,000 naira, automatically, at my disposal, I will be having 98,000 naira. So this 98,000 naira has left more money at my disposal, which tends to increase my demand for goods and services. Because if I have money, I don't have to keep money for long. I either save part of it, invest part of it, and consume the rest. So my consumption, because of the little tax I'm paying to the government, will increase. But let's assume that government decided to increase the rate of tax I'm paying on my income. From 2,000 naira, they now increase the tax I'm paying on 100,000 naira to 20,000 naira. That means the money at my disposal now has fallen from 98,000 naira to 80,000 naira. This will also constrain my ability to demand for goods and services, and as such, inflation may be corrected. The second one is government expenditure. I said earlier that government expenditure can be recurrent or capital. If government increase salary of people, automatically we expect people to demand for more goods and services. But now, if government decide that the increment in government expenditure has led to inflation, let's reduce people's salary. Let's reduce our recurrent expenditure. By reducing recurrent expenditure or the salary of worker, their income will fall, demand will fall, and as such, inflation may be corrected. Then, the next item on the list is monetary policy. What are the tools of monetary policy? We will consider open market operation, reserve requirements, and bank rates. How can monetary policy be used to control inflation? We are now going to pick the tools of monetary policy one after the other and explain how each of them can be used to control inflation. The first instrument of monetary policy is OMO, which is open market operation. Open market operation refers to a situation where governments can buy or sell securities. What are securities? Securities can be treasury bill, treasury certificates, bonds, etc. So, open market operation. How can open market operation be used to control inflation? What is inflation? Inflation may be as a result of too much of money in circulation, chasing fewer goods. So, if government wants to control inflation using OMO, that means the target of the government must be to reduce the money in circulation. How can OMO be used to reduce the money in circulation? Then what government will do is to sell security, because a seller will be paid and give goods and services to the buyer. That means if government is selling security in the market, they are the one giving the buyer the securities, and what they will be collecting from the buyer is money. The collection of money from the buyer will tend to reduce the money at the disposal of the buyer, and as such inflation may be corrected. Now, reserve requirement. What is reserve requirement? Reserve requirement is the amount stipulated by law or a compulsory payment that all commercial bank must keep with the central bank. And the minimum reserve requirement in Nigeria as of today is 25 billion naira. 25 billion naira. That means all commercial bank must keep 25 billion naira with central bank of the country. So how can reserve requirements be used to control inflation? Let's use an hypothetical example. Let's take GT Bank for instance. GT Bank. Let's assume the total money with GT Bank is 50 billion naira. Out of this 50 billion naira, they are going to pay reserve requirements of 25 billion. That is minus 25 billion. So the money left at their disposal now is 25 billion. It is out of this 25 billion, they are going to be lending money out to the general public. Let's now take for instance again that GT Bank has 50 billion, but the government of the country decided to increase the minimum reserve requirement from 25 billion to 40 billion. What will be left with GT Bank is 10 billion. So from these two cases, we can see that when reserve requirement is lower at 25 billion, the money left with GT Bank is 25 billion. And with this 25 billion, they can lend money to the public. And when there is much money with the public, this can cause inflation. But as a result of inflation, government now said, okay, what is causing inflation? Maybe too much of money in circulation. Let's increase bank minimum requirement to 40 billion in such a way that what will be left with them is 10 billion. Having 10 billion at their disposal will constrain their ability to lend money to the public, and as such inflation can be corrected. The third instrument of monetary policy which will be considered here is bank rate. What is bank rate? Bank rate is the rate at which commercial bank give loan to the public. If commercial bank, for every 1 million you decided to borrow as an individual from commercial bank, you have to pay interest of 100,000 naira. That means if you borrow 1 million, you are paying back to them 1,100,000. People can still risk it and go for the loan. But let's assume that, okay, because of government now says that there is inflation due to excessive money in circulation and decide to increase bank rate from 100,000 on every 1 million to 800,000 on every 1 million. Nobody, as a rational human being, will want to go for a loan of 1 million and be paying 1,800,000 at the end of the stipulated period, except for some individual who is going to make profit, and that is only if the profit will cover for the interest and the capital borrowed. So that means an increase in bank rates will constrain bank from lending, because the demand for loan will fall. People will not be rushing for loan again. They will not be rushing to the bank to demand for loan because of the rate at which the bank will be lending to them is now high, and as such this will limit the money in circulation, and as such inflation may be corrected. Then the third policy or control of inflation is what we call supply side policy. Supply side policy. Supply side policy. Supply side policy. Supply side policy is a lasting solution because it can have effect to the long run. What is supply side policy? Supply side policy is the ability of the government of a nation to tackle the problem of inflation from the supply side. Who are the supply side? The supply side are the producer, the manufacturer. Remember, we said a particular inflation is being caused by increase in aggregate demand, and this is called demand pull inflation. When people are demanding for goods and services in the economy, instead of increasing tax and reducing their income, instead of reducing government expenditure and reducing their income, why can't government provide facilities, or let me say provide an enabling environment that will enable the producer to produce more and meet the demand of people? For instance, now government can invest in infrastructure. When there is good roads, when there is access to quick loan by the producer or manufacturer, when there is other factor, when the income tax, or let me say the company income tax to be paid by manufacturer is lower compared to what is in existence, then this will leave more money with the producer, and as such they will tend to produce more goods and services to meet the demand of people instead of going with. That is what makes supply side policy a lasting solution. In Nigeria today, for recommendation purpose, I will say specifically that what is affecting Nigeria is that we are a consumption-oriented economy. We tend to consume more than we produce. Then why can't the government of this nation, why can't the government of Nigeria, why can't the federal government, the state government and the local government of Nigeria come together and provide an enabling environment and provide lasting solution to the supply side of our economy? Why can't they give access to quick loan at lower interest to our producers? Why can't they reduce the price for? Why can't they provide infrastructure such as electricity to cut the cost of production? Why can't they give them good roads to transport the finished goods and services to the market? By doing this, it is expected that Nigeria as a nation will develop and experience growth, because GDP of a country is only the monetary value of goods and services produced in that country. That means a country that is not producing much cannot have higher GDP. For our government to achieve economic growth or to achieve higher GDP, it is advisable that the three levels of government should come together as one and provide a policy or provide an enabling environment for our producers. By so doing, Nigeria will be a better nation for everyone to live. Don't forget that this service is brought to you by Lankotheory Education Service Limited. Lankotheory is one of the best, and let me say the best, in providing quality service in different aspects such as IJMB, JUPEB, Post UTME, WAEC, and every form of examination. Consult us and join us at Lankotheory Education Service Limited for the betterment and quality education. Join us in our next class. We shall continue from where we stop.